in light of some recent OBS shenanigans, and also going down to SAINTCON today, I'm going to end up doing this instead of what I had planned originally. And I've got Sneedacity off on the side recording the audio so that I don't end up having it die completely on me when I go to render it later on. But I've lacked to do another, Flipper Zero video. And so what we're going to do is I've had Unleashed on this for a while, and you can see that my Flipper's somewhat unhappy with me being stuck in the bottom of a bag for a bit. And yeah. So we're going to make it up to the poor Flipper. But first, there's some things that I appreciate that's different about the way the Flipper Zero works. So there's a lot more that comes with it. And it does have a few extra, like Unleashed Firmware has a few extras that are really nice with it. So if I go back, let's go, where was it? Not that one, that one. We gotta take it slow. It's connected over USB, luckily, as you probably could tell. So the weather station works really nicely, but you gotta get close enough. So the sub-gigahertz remote. I run it, and I've already got a program for my ceiling fan set up. And you can see that I've got a couple different ones that it does. So mostly for fan up and down, turning the fan off, turning the light on and off. So as I was analyzing it, I noticed that the remote was programmed in such a way that even though you're pressing one button, it was in essence a toggle. So it would send different signals for light on and off. And as on top of that, it was also sending different signals for each different color light mode. So if I go back, I have somewhere in here. Nope. Okay. So somewhere in my sub-gigahertz, I've got not the sub-gigahertz playlist, Spectrum Analyzer. Okay, here we go. Sub-gigahertz. Okay, I can go to my saved. And so strobe colors I've set up as a recorded sub-gigahertz signal that cycles through all of those. I haven't... I may have done a video or may not have done a video showing this off, but it's actually pretty cool. I could sit there now with my Flipper and turn it off and on and do all the other things with it, which I have lacked doing, which is why my Flipper is mad at me. But anyway, so the sub-gigahertz remote, this one right here, it's actually pretty nice to have it right there in the menu. But from what I've seen, Momentum has a much nicer menu to go with it. U2F still doesn't seem to work, but anyway. Bad USB, I've got a few bad USB scripts that I've set up. So if I go over here, no, that one, boop, 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 bad USB. So I've got some basic typing ones that I have set up that I'm kind of like halfway spinning as another thing, a presentation otherwise. Oh, we're getting the funny scroll thing going on. Oh. But then I've got the basic typing one is set up as typing out different ASCII art. Then I've got a Rickroll QR code one that you saw there. And I haven't quite gotten that one working because of the Unicode requirement, but it is there. So, first thing we're going to do, and what's really nice is Momentum will actually not get rid of anything that I have already. So I can click Install here. It's going to go over unsupported browser. No. Okay, so we're just gonna go in the other way then. GitHub. Momentum firmware. Releases. Okay. So let me see. I don't need the update. I'm gonna need that one, maybe. I'm gonna download both of them just in case. So you can go through QFlipper and do it manually, which is nice. And so if I go through downloads, Momentum. Have I downloaded it previously? Maybe I have. Okay, first boot, radio resources. Yeah, I think I'm going to need to do the SDK one. So we go in. We can go install from file. We, of course, go through our normal thing. Okay, maybe I need the update one, TGZ. Yeah, I can't do it that way. But anyway. So Momentum obviously also has different asset packs. And so this is going to be really nice for SAINTCON because, yeah. Okay, so now when we go into here, we can see we've got Momentum. It's going to upload the firmware. My flipper's going to not quite freak out on me. Now, the flipper's also nice because it's pocketable and has that bad USB functionality. And that can get you into a lot of trouble if you're able to pocket it. It's pocketable. Not as pocketable as a proper bad USB, but still quite pocketable. But it gives you a lot of other functionality as well. And when you pay $20 and win it for logging into a lawnmower's web front end, it's actually quite nice to have. So there is that. It goes pretty quickly, which is nice. It'll reboot and do its thing eventually. I'm gonna have to charge it up, obviously. So I get the fancy update screen. It's going to check all the files and bins and stuff like that, writing the flash on it, the flipper itself. I obviously don't have the overhead camera turned on this time, but they've got a nice installing Momentum firmware splash screen with progress bars. Kind of like Unleashed does a little bit, but Momentum's a lot like Unleashed with a lot more to it. So if we go to home here, you've got the comparison chart here. Unleashed has stable updates. You've got rolling code support. Find My Flipper is installed by default. You've got BLE spam. Bad keyboard, BT and USB through an external app on Unleashed. I think you can add that in the apps stuff, subdriving, customization of menus, app management, RGB, extra RGB stuff if you mod your flipper, spoofing. It would be cool to mod my flipper though, I'm not gonna lie. Improve security, lock on boot and stuff like that, asset packs, VGM color options, enhanced level system, again, for if you mod your flipper. File searching, which is a really handy tool, and I kind of I feel like I miss a lot, especially once you get more and more files going. Disk management, which is a nice feature to have. Improved error messages and external apps. So you've got a few with Unleashed. 160 with Momentum. I believe it should be compatible with anything that's in Rogue Master or Unleashed, though. So if you want to install it manually yourself, you've got that option. I haven't quite dove into the JavaScripting engine in it, but Unleashed and Momentum do unlock quite a bit more with this than the official firmware does. Momentum settings, different interface, protocols, stuff like that. So if we go through the asset packs, it'll load it up a little bit. You can see, depending on how your preference, you've got a whole bunch of options for it. And you can make your own. The assets are freely available to modify, and you can add your own. I've looked at the files and some of the documentation to do it. So in addition to the default ones, you could even add these into the list so that they don't replace what the default assets, but they are in addition to them. Or you can completely replace it so that they take over the default ones. It's all up to you. It's your flipper. So we're still going through extracting resources on the flipper. We're like 95% of the way there, and it's taking a bit to do that. So let's see. If we go through the Fallout one, you can see, yeah, different moods. Let's see. Dexter's Laboratory. Yeah. Can see people worked really hard on some of these. Like, really, really well, too. I think I'll make it up to my flipper in the time that I take with this. So, yeah, that'll be fun. Let's see. Momentum firmwares come up. Try pressing the up arrow. Volume and brightness sliders. Lefty mode. Okay. Do not unplug the device. I am unplugging the device. I am replugging the device. We're going to reopen QFlipper, and you can see that we do have momentum here. If I go into here, we've got pretty nifty menu. I'm going to mess around with it. I'm going to have a lot of opportunity to mess around with it during SAINTCONs, I think. So it'll be pretty nice to see what it can do. There's a lot of different communities at SAINTCON. If I go back over here. So I've got plenty of opportunity to mess around with the flipper between RFID, ID, IoT, lockpick. Oh, let's see, what else is there? I think those are mostly the ones that pertain to it in a lot of it. There may be some like badge stuff I can do with it, mess around with it. Oh, my Balfang's going to be king probably partly through the week, but yeah. I will see you guys at the end of SAINTCON, and Wednesday's probably going to be a less than stellar audio experience for you guys. I apologize. If you liked the content, if you enjoyed it, if you think I deserve it, like, comment, subscribe, leave any criticisms you have or what have you. I appreciate it. Feed that algorithm, like I said, and I will see you guys in the next one.